I'm just going to do a bit of a warning that we have pretty much done a lot of the talking just now, and we're realizing this might overrun slightly because we're so excited about what we're talking about next. A lot of the discussions that we've had this morning, the wardrobe has come up because people hold on to clothes. You kind of think, I will get back down to that size again, or maybe you just, but it's so comfortable. I'm just going to keep hold of it. But also, a big part of your wardrobe is thinking about sustainability. These two ladies, you couldn't fail to notice them here because they just look incredible in what they're wearing. And we're going to have a discussion about this with Daniella Dawkins, who is a master upcycler. If I could welcome you onto the stage. Can we have a warm welcome, please?
Hello, everyone.
And Sophia Lorimer, finetune wardrobe. Oh, I'm going to sit in the middle. No, I like it. It's cozy. It's nice.
The hub.
So, hang on. Let me just move on to the next card. So, first of all, I mean, I noticed, I saw your stand. I don't think you were there at the time. And I thought, I like this. I couldn't fail to see you because look at this incredible jacket. Absolutely amazing. But let's hear a bit more about what you do. Daniella, let's start with you.
So, hi everyone, my name's Danny and I am a master upcycler. So what I do is I take something old and I turn it into something new, something popping, something banging, whatever it is to you. So you know that saying when your parents might say, you're always making something out of nothing. I was that one. So
fantastic. I mean, I'm an upcycler of furniture, so I totally get the passion. But can you stand up? Because I just want everyone to see this skirt. Look at this. Isn't it awesome?
And bag.
I mean, I wish I had the legs to go with it. If I'm
and the bag. And I do have a bralette on as well, but I'm not going to take me over on E40 if you want to see that
I bet she'll get it out if you go over to her stand, though. So.
Yeah, definitely.
And Sophia, tell us about you.
So I am a sustainable stylist. I work with women to help them rejuvenate their wardrobe sustainably. So I use everything that you've already got in your wardrobe, breathe new life into it, restyle it, repurpose it, and anything that's not for you anymore, I help you donate it to worthy causes like the homeless or women's shelter. Or if it's in good nick, I help you sell it on as well. So it's a whole circle of goodness.
And you guys have worked together a little bit, haven't you?
We have. We've done a bit of collab. So the women that I help, that, you know, if you've got something in your wardrobe, it's got holes in a jumper, not fit for purpose anymore, I collect them all up, and at the end of the year, I give them over to Danny with her magician hands. She transforms them into, last year we did mittens and snoods.
Yes, snoods.
And then we gave them out to all the homeless people in Brighton. So it's a whole circle of...
It was awesome.
It was amazing. Honestly, it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
It was just the best day.
Really beautiful. So, first question. Ooh. How important is your wardrobe to you?
My wardrobe is very important to me because I feel like it is an expression of you. So, or that's what it should be. So my wardrobe is an expression of me. It's full of color, it's full of variation, it's vibrant, and you should really love everything that's in your wardrobe. And if you don't, that's when you need someone like Sophia to come in and help you love it, because you should be able to open your wardrobe and just feel passionate about what's in there. Otherwise, that's when you come into a time when you just feel depressed and unfulfilled.
And you need to be inspired by your wardrobe.
You need to be inspired by your wardrobe.
I totally agree. If it's a grey day, I'm not very good when it's a grey, wet day. So I'll wear my bright pink jacket.
Yeah,
that cheers me up, and then I get more smiles as I walk around the place when I drop
and
the
it's
kids off.
amazing how infectious it is. Colour is infectious, and your clothes are infectious.
Yeah, totally. So how about you, Sophia?
And I just following on from that, the amount of strokes that I've got from everyone
literally
today from my jacket, because it really does do that.
Yeah.
And my wardrobe is so important to me. For a long time, I didn't like myself. And that's why I started what I do. Didn't like myself. Didn't like the woman that I was. My shape, everything had changed, and I was so uninspired. And I just felt like I didn't like myself anymore because of the clothes that were in my wardrobe. And I feel like as women, we can really relate to this as our body changes.
Yeah.
I feel like your wardrobe, it's fine for your wardrobe to change with you, and it's fine to if it's not working for you, to make those changes to make it a better place for you to open up and be like, oh, do you know what? I want to wear that. Not, oh my God, I hate everything.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So this is probably more a question for you, Sophia. What's the best way to tackle organising your wardrobe?
I would definitely say the foundation to your wardrobe has to be what your style is. So find out the things that you love. Find the things that light you up in your wardrobe. What is it that you gravitate to most? Not what other people expect you to wear, not what your husband or partner expects you to wear, but what really lights you up. And once you've got the basics of what you love, then you're onto a winner. If you can fill your wardrobe as to what you love, you're onto something amazing.
Yeah.
So I know you don't necessarily organise people's wardrobes for them, but you probably have an opinion on this because clothes are so important to you.
Yeah. So I feel, sorry, what was the question? So I was so involved. You know when you're in an interview and you're like, oh, can you ask me that question again? No, if you word it for me.
This is when you know people are actually just engaged in the conversation because it keeps happening. They forget about what the question
I'm like, what was it again?
I was asking about the best way to organise your wardrobe.
Yeah, do you know what? I am definitely not the best person for wardrobe organisation. I need Sophia, but I think it really is about, so for me personally, I have sections. So I have jackets in that section. So if I need a jacket, I'm going there. If I need a dress, I'm going there. If I need that, then it's like just basic t-shirts, they're down there. But it is what you're saying about your changing with your wardrobe, because then that's when you go in there and you're like, this is so old. And
it's not serving you anymore.
It's not serving me anymore, but it's still in there and it's taking up space. And it's so important to get it out and refresh it. I think that's a very important key.
And when people get it out, I mean, presumably when they're getting rid of stuff is when you can then take it and turn it into something fabulous.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend people do with those clothes? Where's the best place for them to take that?
Okay, so my first thing is, most people would take it to the thrift stores or the charity shops. Honestly, I feel like my opinion's changing because they're over-consumed with our old stuff. And what is happening is that everyone is going, they're like, oh, we'll just take it to charity shops. I'll buy it and next year I'll take it to the charity shops. But everyone's over-consuming so quickly that the charity shops don't have space for it. And then it all ends up in landfill in all these exotic countries, but we don't see it. So I'm really torn. If I'm honest, I'm so torn. I mean, the biggest thing we can do is just buy what we need and stop over-consuming.
It's a fault of fast fashion, isn't it, basically?
Yeah, it's a fault of fast fashion. And swaps are amazing.
Yeah.
If you can find a swap or swap with your friends and family, arrange these swaps that it goes between all of you as a community, it's so much easier than just taking it all to the charity shops.
Yeah.
And which is, I feel really contradicted by that answer, but that's the truth.
No, I think that it's not just with clothes, is it? It's with everything. We just keep buying, and
Absolutely.
Yeah, and which is part of the reason why we will end up needing to declutter in the first place. So how can we be more ethical in our choice of fashion? Like there are so many ways, aren't there?
There is so many ways. You know, it's the whole thing of, again, buying what you need or what you love. I think ethical, it's just such a big umbrella. But one thing that I would say is, if you're buying something for you and something that you love, and it's not necessarily you're following trends and things, you're going to wear it, it's going to last you longer, buying quality, better fabrics, know your brands, know who you're buying from, what's their standpoint, all of those things, are they paying their workers? All of these things are a huge impact on the sustainability of your clothes. Two, also they make you feel really rubbish if you know that the brand that you're buying from don't care about their workers. All of these things fall into that umbrella for me, definitely.
Yeah, and so I mean, let's say you do go through your wardrobe and you're kind of looking to clear it out. How easy would you say it would be for someone to take something and to turn it into something that they do want to wear, or perhaps can revamp to kind of modernize it? Because sometimes it's not so much that we don't like it anymore, we're just so used to it that actually it doesn't kind of give us that feeling anymore.
So I mean, obviously, I'm the master upcycler, so I'm like, it's easy, guys. It's so easy. But it's not as hard as it seems. That's what it is. I think if you can see it in your mind's eye what it is that you want to create, it's not that hard. Everything is straight lines. Like, sometimes if it's that you want to change the shape of something, you might just need to open up the sides and put in another panel of fabric. Pin it in place and sew it up. But YouTube is amazing. YouTube is amazing to teach you how to learn to sew if that is something you want to do. If you don't want to learn to sew with a machine, hand sewing is another option. And my biggest tip, if you are like, no, needles and thread, no thank you, fabric glue is phenomenal. Fabric glue is amazing. And when I first started customizing denim jackets, I used fabric glue, and some of them denim jackets are still held together. So,
What do you think of the Wonderweb stuff as well? Because I've used that quite a lot.
God, I used to use Wonderweb. Wonderweb is amazing.
It's really good. Do you know, guys know what that is? It's like this stuff. Yeah, everyone knows. For those of you that don't know it, because I just think it's brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
For hemming in particular, isn't it?
Yes.
Where it's like this weird kind of spider's web stuff that you put inside and you dampen it and then you iron it and it basically turns into a glue. And it's brilliant stuff. But because what I've done, I'm not so cool that I've made old clothes into better new clothes, but I've made so many cushions out of old shirts.
Oh,
yeah. It's just like
amazing.
that's my thing now.
Love it.
And actually, you know, I think sometimes you will have an item of clothing that you don't necessarily want to wear, but it's got that massive sentimental value, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And so therefore, like finding a way that you can, if you really, really can't get rid of it, finding some other way of having it. So for example, I made a cushion for a lady out of her husband who had passed away. She was like, I can't bear, this is the shirt that he wore when we first met and all that kind of thing. So we made a cushion out of it. And she sits there and cuddles that cushion. I mean, how lovely is that?
Yeah.
Rather than being stuck in a cupboard or going to landfill, even worse. So
I love that.
losing track of my questions. Loving this too much. So this is a really interesting thing because you were talking about the fact that this denim jacket is still lasting. So what would you say about, and actually you can both answer this one, I think, making sure that you keep those clothes for longer? What can we do to enhance the longevity of our clothes?
So it is about the way you wash it and also not overwashing it. So sometimes, especially when it comes to jackets and shirts, unless you absolutely sweated in there and you ran a 100K marathon, you don't necessarily need to wash it. You don't need to wash it every single wear, and it helps your clothes last longer, but it's also the products that you're using. What are the products that you're washing with? Are they too harsh? If the water in your area is too harsh, then you need to maybe figure out what detergent you're using that could soften that. So that plays a big part in it as well.
Yeah,
How about you? What would you say?
I would definitely, exactly what Danny's just said. Also, is how you look after, how you store your clothes. So is it that you're using, your hangers are a bit like wooden and like making your clothes like bobble up? I don't know if any of you got wooden hangers and then they all misshape your clothes, so not helping with the longevity. Are you just shoving them all in a drawer so when you get them out, they're like all in a horrible scrunch and like making all your clothes go bobbly? You know, all of those things really, really matter in keeping a nice, sustainable wardrobe.
Yeah, because actually doing the whole kind of rolling them. I mean, everything's rolled in my house now. Yeah. You're not kind of getting the friction of the fibers, are you?
Absolutely.
So it does make
even
a
on
difference.
like the knobs inside your drawers. If everything's all shoved in there, and let's say you've got like jumpers and things, you're just ruining them in the drawers.
But also, you often don't then need to iron something. Again, I should imagine, I don't know this, but I'm imagining that ironing something probably does decrease the longevity of something.
See, I'm a steamer girl all day long.
Me too.
Get that steamer out.
Has anyone else here got a steamer, clothes steamer?
Yeah, look.
I mean, seriously, guys, try one because I hate ironing.
I hate ironing.
My ex was like, I'm never going to get you. I only ironed one shirt and I got in such a bad mood. He was like, right, that's it.
Yeah.
No more ironing for you. I was like, oh, really? So can you just tell me a little bit about what you do for clients?
So for my clients, they would bring something to me, and it might be something that they've had for like years and they just want to revamp it. I've had one of my clients, she actually was here earlier, and her dad passed away. And I had my dad passed away 6 years ago now, and I had upcycled the outfit out of his blazer. Because I do content creating as well, so she'd seen the video on my social media, and someone recommended me to her, and she brought me a bunch of her dad's blazers and suits so that I could recreate them into things for her. And again, it was like, instead of it just being a cushion or a blanket, I've made it into stuff that she could wear. And some of them she wore to work, some of them she wore out partying. So yeah, so stuff like that. Alterations I do as well, alterations and fit-ins. But I love upcycling.
And so that's so lovely as well, because if you're wearing something that belongs to a loved one, it's like it's close to you all the time. It's really beautiful. How about you? Tell us about some of your client work.
So I work with women of all ages. Most of my clients are either had some like kind of transition. It could be a new job, divorce, all of those things, new mothers, all of these things that make us really question where we're at. Do we really love what we look like in our clothes and things? And a lot of what I do is the clothes are like the cherry on the top. It's more about how you feel inside. Because if you are wearing the most gorgeous outfit but you've got no confidence, you might as well be wearing, you know, it's neither here nor there. So I work from the core, and then we build on that, because that's what it's all about, you know, confidence and getting your what is it called, your confidence up, your self-esteem up when you've had those massive changes in your life is just huge and really, really important. So we really work from all of those angles. And then the cherry on the top is that you come out, one, feeling amazing about the woman that you are in the clothes that you already own, but just changed up differently, styled differently. And also you've got the confidence to go out there and do whatever you want to do in your new whatever it is.
So what would be, I know this is going to be very hard, but for everyone sitting here, what would be the one main, give me three. Okay. Give me three main tips that when they go home to their wardrobe, what would you say they should do?
Open it up.
Is that one of them?
One of them. Yeah, that's one. No, open your wardrobe up. See what's in there. Pick out 3 things out of your wardrobe that you love. 3 things out of your wardrobe that you don't love. 3 things that you wish you wore more of. That's going to help you see exactly where you're at. Okay, why don't I wear these things that I say that I wish I wore more of? Where could I fit them into my day-to-day life? All the things that I don't like, let me get rid of them right here, right now. They're not serving me. They don't fit me anymore. Let's get rid. That could be all the places that we've said. See if a friend wants them, that kind of thing. That way, you've already, and if you do this, let's say you did that this weekend, do it again next weekend. Every week, then you're going to literally get to the wardrobe of your dreams. You'll be able to see where your gaps are in your wardrobe. You'll be able to see, okay, if I put this with this, because I don't like that anymore, those jeans don't fit me, I need a new pair of jeans that fit me. You've already got yourself a good shopping list. You know exactly what you're going to be buying. You're not going to be going to shops going, oh my God, I really love that jacket. You went in there for jeans. You know, it's that whole thing. You're going to really be focused on what is your dream wardrobe. That was a bit of a
No, that's
a lot,
great. What I always think as well is it's interesting how just a really good belt can completely revamp a dress or an outfit.
Absolutely. And my belt trick, I don't know if I should share that with everyone.
We won't tell anyone, will we?
We won't tell anyone. So if you've got a summer dress, I'll have to stand up for this. So you've got a summer dress. Oh, my mic's on it. Sorry. So you've got a summer dress, and then you could put on there, like that lady. Sorry to point you out, but is that all right if I could just use you? Is that all right? Yeah.
Come on up.
Just so I want to demonstrate. And then, so let's say this is your summer dress and it's a lovely summer's day, you're wearing it. And then we're going to put on a jumper over the top. You're going to have to use your imagination. We've got a jumper over the top. I've got a belt. I'm going to cinch in the belt, tie it. And then I'm going to unfold so it's going to give you like a cropped jumper effect on the top. You're not seeing the belt, but you're getting the warmth at the top. You can layer it up with some leggings underneath, your thick winter boots. You've got summer to autumn and winter perfectly.
Oh, I'm loving that. I really see that as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So I literally ambushed you, didn't I?
So in terms of what you do, what would be your 3 top tips that those of us that aren't necessarily as good at sewing and seeing the vision could do?
My top tips for anyone who wanted to, maybe you want to get into upcycling, or maybe you just want to figure out what if you have anything that you want to upcycle. Go to your wardrobe.
Open it up.
Open it up and just kind of really go through everything, but also have an idea of what you like. Whether that is that I always say stay away from trends, but if you look at what other people might be wearing and you're like, I like that. It's not whether it's trendy or not. Don't worry about whether it's trendy, but how can I recreate this outfit? Without having to go out and buy it. So it's not about where can I buy it from. If I like this dress, if I like this lovely summer dress this lady's wearing, do I have anything similar to that in my wardrobe? And how can I create it? You might have something that's too big that you want to take in, or you might have something that is smaller. Maybe it's a whole different size dress. How can I bring it out? And if you're not sure, I always say this, YouTube is your best friend. There's a lot of Facebook groups where you can actually join about upcycling Facebook groups. Worst case scenario, you guys can hit me up on my Instagram, which is it Danny Dawkins, and I can give you some tips as well.
It is amazing though, if you just put upcycled jumper into anything,
amount of stuff that comes
Instagram,
up.
Google,
Yeah.
Pinterest, you'll be bombarded with amazing ideas. And suddenly, because if you're not a particularly creative or visual person, it can be hard to come up with these ideas, can't it?
Yeah.
But the internet, that's one way that the internet is really good.
Pinterest
It
is
helps you.
absolutely
Yeah,
amazing. Pinterest is really awesome for ideas for upcycling and sewing and just style ideas as well, if that's what you guys are looking for.
Well, I've got more questions that I could ask you, but I'm conscious that I don't want to take away from the audience. So do we have any questions yet in the audience at all?
Don't be shy. We don't
No,
bite, honestly.
They really don't bite. Yes.
How would you upcycle a long fur coat?
Oh my God, it's so funny you should say that, because my best friend, she has a fur coat and she's like, Danny, what can we do with it? And I looked at her, I was like, I don't have a clue. But at the same time, if we was having a consultation and you bought me this fur coat, my main thing is what's your inspiration? So as my client, you need to also have an idea of what it is that you want. Whatever you want, we can do it. I know that much. I have had someone that's brought me a fur gilet, and what we did with it is she had another dress and we used it to put on the arms. So we cut off parts of the fur and just kind of draped it over the arms on both sides. And it was very simple, but she knew what she wanted. So there are some people that will come to me and they'll be like, Dan, do whatever you want. And I'm like, you what? I'm gonna make you a bralette and a short skirt, but no, I'm joking. But it's just have an idea, but anything can be made as long as you have the right tools. So you need the right sewing machine, because it is fur, you do need the right sewing machine to work with it. But we can make it into anything.
Amazing. Anybody else? I was actually going to ask you, Sophia, I forgot to ask you before, because, obviously yours is very much about sustainable styling.
Absolutely.
Which are the brands that you think are the best ones to go for when it comes to clothes for that front?
I haven't shopped. So my sustainability journey started after I had my daughter, and I haven't shopped in a normal clothes shop in over 4 years. So everything that I buy is secondhand, from all sorts, Vinted, eBay, Instagram, Depop, all of that. So as in sustainable brands, there is some definitely out there, but also sometimes you really need to do your homework, because they say they're sustainable brand on the tin, but when you really look inside, they're not. So I don't want to say certain brands because I need to look into them really deeply. But I would definitely say if you're really looking to go into the sustainable world and really home in more on that, shop your wardrobe first, because the most sustainablest thing we own that's on this planet is what's in your wardrobe.
That's the thing, isn't it? There's so much greenwashing around.
Absolutely.
It's very hard.
Absolutely.
But like you say, something reused, repurposed, upcycled is always going to be greener than
anything else. Even the things that are really sustainable.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
even like talking about fur coats, we don't really want to be buying fur anymore, but actually, there are fur coats. I've got my grandmother's fur coat.
Yeah, no,
and it's sort of,
absolutely.
we don't want things being sent to landfill.
Yeah.
The idea is to kind of make sure that you're not buying new stuff all the time. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, and things like that. It's there's people's opinions on fur and things, but is it better in landfill or is it better?
Exactly.
Because it's been done. It was done all those years ago, but what do you do with it now? So it's a conflicting argument. Sorry, we could be here all
I've got another
day.
question then. Does anybody else have a question? Sorry.
Thank you. My question is to you.
Yeah.
You mentioned when you started your business, you grew up as someone who've always made something different, something new out of things that you've had.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone who probably didn't have that skill when they were growing up, but they love what you're doing, and want to get into such business? What would they do? What would be the starting point?
The starting point would be, thank you, that's an amazing question. The starting point would be get a sewing machine. I would advise anyone who wants to learn to do upcycling, as much as I say here, you can use glue, but if you really want to get into it and you really want to go in, get yourself a sewing machine. It doesn't have to be the most expensive one. It doesn't have to be the most name brand one, but I would just say, like, go John Lewis and get one. And second-hand ones on eBay are great as well. So just making sure that they've been serviced. But just really, there are books that you can get, or there are videos that you can watch. And the most basic things that you can learn to sew, and when I do lessons, if I'm teaching someone how to sew, I teach them to sew a tote bag and I teach them to sew a cushion, because they are two of the most easiest things that you can learn. And the best things about them is that you can give them as gifts after. So it's not that you're just going to make 10 tote bags to practice and you're just going to have them sitting there. You could, but you can give them as gifts to your friends and family, and they'll love it, or they won't, but they got it. So
you made it.
Because you made it, so you got to give it to them. But it starts there. Have a passion for it. Do some research. Like we were talking about, Pinterest is amazing. Get some ideas on there, and just have a catalogue of things that you like, and it's a starting place.
Do you know, the easiest thing to do is make a shirt or a cardigan into a cushion, because the buttons are there done for you.
Yeah.
I'm so
and then
lazy.
it's just
like
the straight lines around the side.
very simple. It's actually, I think that's the thing, isn't it, for people to understand that. I think doing what you're doing takes a lot of skill, but there are some things that actually you should just have a go at, because you might surprise yourself. What do you think about those? I've never had one, but like the little, I don't know whether they're hemming machines, so they're not like a big sewing machine. Are they any good? Have you ever tried one of
Those ones that you kind of hold in your hand and go,
have you ever had one of
Do
those?
you know what? Oh, I wish I bought it, but someone gave one to me second hand, and I was like, I'm well going to use this. And every time I go to sew something, my machine's sitting there like, babes, you're not using that little thing. And I'm like, you're right, baby, here we go. So I haven't used it. I wouldn't really advise it. I wouldn't advise someone to go out and buy it. If you saw it in a charity shop and you wanted to give it a go, fair enough.
Yeah, good.
Or if someone donated it to you, that over having a real sewing machine that is going to do your hems. If you have a hole in your shirt and you want to patch it up, or you want to just put patches on your jeans, in a whole different fabric, nothing beats having a proper sewing machine than having a little hemming one.
Okay. Any more questions? Well, that's been amazing, and I do feel like there's so much more I could go into with you guys. But thank you, and thank you for brightening up our stage as well.
Thank you.
Daniella actually has a stand. I'm pointing. Do you know what the number is of your stand?
It's E40.
E40. So you can see some of her creations there, and I think you'll see Sophia around.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
can't
you'll
miss
her.
her.
But thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you, guys.